Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Before we dive in, make sure to like the video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any content that might just change the way you think and live. Today's topic is controversial. It's for those who are tired of getting screwed over for being too smart. The theme is the art of pretending to be dumb. And yes, that's from Schopenhauer, not me. Have you ever wondered why the more you know, the more trouble you seem to attract? Why the guy who understands nothing is chilling while you're out there solving everyone else's problems? Yeah, you're not alone. The truth is, being smart is often a curse, disguised as a blessing. And today, I'm going to show you why pretending to be dumb might be the smartest move you'll ever make. Let's start with the truth no one tells you. Being smart sucks. It's not about being superior, it's about being used. You know why? Because when you understand how things work, when you solve problems no one else can, when you see what others can't, you become the go-to guy for everything. At work, you're the one they call when things get complicated. At home, you're the tech guy, the financial advisor, the family therapist. Among friends, you're the one who always gives advice, who always fixes the drama. And what do you get in return? More work, more pressure, more responsibility. Meanwhile, the guy who doesn't get anything just keeps to himself. No one expects much from him because, poor guy, he doesn't know any better. If something goes wrong, no one blames him. He's kind of slow, right? And the result? The fool lives in peace while the smart one lives in constant stress. But it doesn't stop there. Being intelligent means seeing the rot in the world. You notice how people lie, manipulate, deceive. You realize that most of what society sells as important is just illusion. You understand that the world isn't fair, that hard work doesn't always lead to results, that life is far more chaotic than it appears, and that eats you up inside. While the fool happily believes whatever nonsense he's told, you carry the weight of awareness. As Schopenhauer said, with people it's like with the stars. Some shine with their own light, others only reflect the light they receive. But shining with your own light means burning from the inside. I know exactly what that feels like. I've been through phases in life where being smart felt more like a curse than a blessing. I remember a time when I was the guy who always fixed everything at work. System issue? Call me. Angry client? I'd handle it. Blocked process? I'd find a way. And you know what happened? I became a slave to my own competence. I worked twice as hard, got paid the same, and still had to hear, "Well, you're good at it." Seriously? Since when did being good at something become a crime? Even worse, I could see all the company's problems, the flaws in the system, the mistakes being made over and over again. And when I tried to speak up, I was either ignored or handed the responsibility to fix it all. Knowledge became a burden. And one day, I finally understood what Schopenhauer meant when he talked about pretending to be dumb. It's not about being stupid, it's about protecting yourself from being exploited. It's about knowing when to show your intelligence and when to act like you don't know a thing. And guess what? It works. It works really well. When you stop being the know-it-all, when you pretend not to understand certain things, when you strategically play dumb, life gets lighter. People stop dumping their problems on you. You gain time, energy, and peace of mind. Now let's talk about the man who figured this out more than 200 years ago, Arthur Schopenhauer. This German philosopher, who lived from 1788 to 1860, was one of the first to recognize that intelligence can become a trap. Schopenhauer once said, "There's nothing a man is prouder of than his intellectual ability because that's what gives him his dominant position in the animal kingdom." But he also realized that displaying this intellectual superiority can be extremely dangerous. Why? Because it triggers envy, resentment, and hostility. When you show that you're smarter than someone, they don't feel admiration, they feel anger.
and that anger can turn into persecution, sabotage, or exclusion. Schopenhauer knew this firsthand. He was a misunderstood genius, a brilliant philosopher who was ignored by academia for most of his life. His ideas were revolutionary, but that made other intellectuals feel threatened. Even his own mother wrote him a brutal letter when he was just 19, saying that all his qualities were overshadowed by his excessive intelligence, and that he made people bitter with his constant need to prove he knew better than everyone else. That's when Schopenhauer realized, intelligence without social wisdom is self-destruction. He developed the idea that in certain situations, pretending to be less intelligent than you really are might actually be the smartest move you can make. And he wasn't alone in this.
Balthasar Gracian, another philosopher, once said, "To be well-liked, one must wear the skin of the simplest animal." Sun Tzu, in The Art of War, taught the importance of appearing weak when you are strong. But why does pretending to be dumb actually work? The answer lies in human psychology. People hate feeling inferior. When you show intellectual superiority, you directly attack someone's ego, and a wounded ego seeks revenge. Picture this. You're in a meeting, and you come up with a brilliant solution to a complex problem. Everyone's impressed. Your boss praises you. You feel like a badass. But do you know what the others are thinking? This arrogant bastard thinks he's better than us. The result? The next chance they get, they'll sabotage you. They'll question your ideas, spread rumors, try to bring you down. Why? Because you made them feel small. Now, imagine a different scenario. You have the solution, but instead of saying it outright, you plant the seed and let someone else discover the idea. What happens? Everyone's happy. You avoid conflict, and you just gained an ally.
That's strategic intelligence. You get what you want without making enemies. You solve problems without becoming everyone's doormat. You use your intelligence to be even smarter, not to be the smartest guy in the room. Now let's get to what really matters, how to apply this in real life. First, let me be clear. Pretending to be dumb doesn't mean you are dumb. It means using your intelligence to decide when to show it. 1. The strategic silence technique. Shut up. Sounds simple, but it's revolutionary. When you stay quiet in a discussion, people fill the silence with their own opinions. You observe, you learn, and you speak only when it really matters. In a meeting, instead of being the first to speak, listen to everyone else first. Then, when you finally speak, your words will seem more thoughtful and carry more weight. 2. The art of the innocent question. Instead of saying you know something, ask as if you don't. This makes the other person explain, feel important, and you get bonus information. Don't say, "This report is wrong." Say, "How did you come up with these numbers? I'm trying to understand the methodology." 3. The guided discovery method. Plant the seed of an idea and let others discover the solution themselves. You get what you want without looking pushy. Instead of, "We should change this process," try, "I wonder if there's a more efficient way to handle this." Let someone else suggest the change. 4. The intelligent compliment technique. Praise others when they arrive at the conclusion you wanted them to reach. This builds allies and makes people associate you with positive feelings. When someone embraces your planted idea, say, "That's brilliant. I hadn't thought of it that way." 5. The power of apparent confusion. Pretend not to understand something obvious so others feel the need to explain it. It boosts their ego and gives you valuable insights. Say, "Sorry, I didn't quite get that part. Could you walk me through it again?" Even if you understood it perfectly.
Now, here's something important. You shouldn't always pretend to be dumb. There are situations where showing your intelligence is absolutely necessary. 1. When your competence is being evaluated. Job interviews, exams, important presentations, these are moments to shine. Playing dumb here is a guaranteed way to shoot yourself in the foot. 2. When you're among equals, if you're with people on your intellectual level, like in academic settings, mastermind groups, or study circles, go ahead and show what you know. These are safe spaces to share your ideas openly. 3. When there's real urgency. In emergencies or critical situations, it's not time to play games. If you have the solution and important results or lives are at stake, speak up. 4. When you're with people who value intelligence. Some bosses, mentors, or colleagues genuinely appreciate smart thinking. Learn to spot these people and be more open with them. When you master the art of strategic ignorance, your life changes in powerful ways. Less stress. You're no longer the designated problem solver. People stop dumping everything on you. More time. Without constant interruptions, you finally have space to focus on what truly matters. Fewer enemies. You stop threatening other people's egos, which means fewer conflicts and more harmony. More influence. Ironically, you gain more power when people don't see you as a threat. Better quality of life. You live lighter, without carrying the weight of being the misunderstood genius. Let me tell you a true story that illustrates this perfectly. I once worked with a guy everyone thought was a little slow. He always asked basic questions, always needed help, always seemed a bit lost. But I started noticing something interesting about him. He never skipped lunch because of a tight deadline. He never stayed late at the office. He was never stressed out. And strangely enough, he always seemed to know exactly what was going on in the company.
One day, I had a conversation with him, and I found out the truth. The guy had 2 engineering degrees and an MBA, but he had learned that showing it off would only make his life harder. So he played the role of the simple guy, the one who didn't complicate things, who didn't know too much. And the result? While I and other smart colleagues were killing ourselves solving everyone else's problems, he just did what was necessary and lived in peace. And when an important promotion came up, guess who got it? He did, because he was seen as someone with no ego, easy to work with, and not someone who created conflict. That story changed my life. I realized he wasn't dumb. He was the smartest one of us all.
History is full of people who got burned for being too smart. Socrates, the most brilliant philosopher in ancient Greece, was sentenced to death for asking too many smart questions. He exposed people's ignorance, and that created so much hatred, he was executed for it. Galileo, he discovered that the earth revolves around the sun, but the church persecuted him because his intelligence threatened established power. He spent the final years of his life under house arrest. Schopenhauer himself was ignored by the academic world for decades because his ideas were too revolutionary. He was only recognized at the end of his life. The lesson is clear. Being intelligent without social wisdom is a recipe for disaster. So how can you apply this to your life, starting today? At work, stop being the first one to solve every problem. Ask more questions and give fewer answers. Let others shine sometimes. Pick your battles carefully. In relationships, don't correct everyone all the time. Let people come to their own conclusions. Be curious instead of acting like a know-it-all. Compliment other people's intelligence. In social settings, speak less, listen more. Ask questions instead of giving lectures. Don't join every debate you hear. Be the person who understands, not the one who proves they understand. True wisdom isn't about showing how much you know. It's about knowing when to show it. Schopenhauer got it right. Intelligence without strategy is self-destruction. Pretending to be dumb isn't dishonesty. It's self-preservation. It's using your intelligence to build a better life, not just to prove a point. It's choosing peace over recognition, influence over ego, results over applause. Remember, the world doesn't reward the smartest. It rewards the savviest. And the smartest person in the room is the one who knows when to play dumb. The art of pretending to be dumb is the art of being truly smart. It's not about shrinking yourself. It's about protecting yourself. It's not about being fake. It's about being strategic. It's not about giving up on your intelligence, it's about using it more intelligently. Schopenhauer was right. Sometimes appearing dumb is the smartest thing you can do. And now you know how to do it. Start today. Start now. Next time you feel the urge to prove how much you know, stop. Take a breath and ask yourself, do I need to prove I'm smart, or do I need to be smart? The choice is yours. A lighter life is waiting. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, share it with that friend who keeps getting screwed over for being too smart, and subscribe for more content that will transform the way you think and live. And tell me in the comments, have you ever been in a situation where your intelligence worked against you? What happened? Let's talk and learn from each other. Thank you for being here, for being part of this community that seeks real wisdom. See you in the next video. And remember, sometimes pretending to be dumb is the smartest thing you can do.